Okay, so we'll get started in explaining some of these common questions I get from individuals when they ask me about land trust. These always comes up, and of course we're going to have them printed, or if they're not, um, if you require to have these questions and answers sent to you, just message me, contact me, and I'll email them to you, no problem. So what is land trust? A land trust is a legal entity that holds real estate property on behalf of the owner while allowing for privacy, protection, and management benefits. Okay? And it is another entity such as LLC, but it's or corporation, but it's completely different, and it's not a document that's recorded like the LLC or corporation. So that is where you get the privacy part coming in when you use land trust to put your property in. When you purchase it, or if you already have it, if you transfer it to a land trust, it gives you more privacy and protection and so many other benefits. How does a land trust work? The property's ownership is transferred to the trust, and the trust agreement, which is a document, like a PDF, a document with its outlines, who manages it and how it's passed on to the beneficiaries, right? So at the end of it, you always want to have a beneficiary, whether it's you or you have it set up for others in the event that you pass. Okay? What are the benefits of using a land trust? There are several benefits. I don't think I could list them in a short answer, but the benefits include privacy, which is a number one reason why business entities, bigger corporations like Walt Disney, they use land trust to acquire properties. And then in the case of Walt Disney, he didn't want everyone to know that he's buying up the land, because of course the price would change right away. So he bought these properties individually under land trust, securing its privacy while acquiring all this massive asset of land, right? So the benefits include privacy, asset protection, streamlined property management, which you can do, and estate planning advantages. Is my name kept confidential in a land trust? Typically, yes. The trust name is usually used for public records, maintaining your individual privacy. Can I still control and manage the property in a land trust? Absolutely. Yes. You retain control and can manage the property while it's in a trust. Are there tax advantages to using a land trust? Yes. You retain control and can manage the property while it's in the trust. Are there tax advantages to using a land trust? Land trusts primarily focus on privacy and asset protection, but they can complement tax planning strategies. And that is the number two reasons why, or it comes hand in hand with the privacy of transfer while properties on the land trust, for you to be beneficial, for tax planning strategies to be beneficial to you, wherein you don't have to pay taxes immediately on a property that's under the trust that is transferred under the trust. So we can visit that in more detail at another time, but it is very fundamental. It's a fundamental reason, also the tax planning strategy of having your property in a land trust. Are there, excuse me, can I transfer my existing properties into a land trust? Yes, existing properties can often be transferred into a land trust. What's the difference between a land trust and other legal entities like LLCs or corporations? Land trusts offer anonymity and are primarily for real estate ownership, while LLCs and corporations provide liability protection and have different purposes. Do I need an attorney to set up a land trust? It's usually advisable to work with an attorney that's experienced in land trust to ensure it's properly structured. Okay? Can I sell? But however, back to, do you need an attorney to set up a land trust? You don't have to have an attorney to set up a land trust. It is something that you can do yourself. There are several documents that are legally set up, including the ones that we use, by attorneys. So you don't have to go to an attorney and pay $35,000 to set up your land trust for your properties. Okay? But yes, it's advisable to use documents that were put together by an attorney that is familiar with the use of land trust or creating land trust. Okay? Can I sell or refinance a property held in a land trust? That's a pretty good question, because I'm sure I get that, like, I don't know, 20 times since I started talking about this. Yes, you can sell or refinance properties in a land trust, but the process may involve transferring the trust interest. So that's another thing that we can go into depth with more information on. What does that mean? Okay? What happens to the property in a land trust when I pass away? The trust agreement specifies how the property is transferred to the beneficiaries, often avoiding probate. And you may not know, but I can tell you that probate is expensive. It means you have to have a probate attorney. And this usually, if you're wondering what probate is, this is when someone passes on that owns real estate and they have beneficiaries or not. It still has to go through probate. But if they're beneficiaries to the interest, the real estate interest, or that have interest in the real estate, then you usually have to go through probate to have the court situate it and prove all that is necessary to say the person passed, you're related, which way, how, who is not, and where all the family is from way back. We need to find out about them. And the whole process can be very lengthy. I know of an individual that had to go through probate after his father passed, and he had a condo, and it took them nearly 8 months. And so you must be wondering, so are you paying the attorney for all this time? Yes, you will have to. So when someone passes away, the trust agreement specifies how the property is transferred to beneficiaries, often avoiding probate court. So this is great if you have family members, you have kids, and you want to have them set up without having to go through hassles or paying more monies to get documents and properties sorted out. This is a great way to just pass it down, and there's nothing they need to do. They don't have to go to court. They don't have to do anything. So The other question, it brings me to that. Do I need to notify the mortgage lender when using a land trust? Pretty good question. This is so common. I get this all the time. This is like the number one question. Do I need to notify the mortgage lender when using a land trust? It's wise to notify the lender. You might say, oh no, we're going to defeat the purpose. But we can go into this in depth, but it is wise to notify the lender, as some mortgages have the infamous due on sale clause that could be triggered. And if it is triggered, you have to pay all the monies that is owed to the bank right away, at once. No more monthly payments. So if the bank has this clause and you had not notified the bank that you're doing this, maybe for estate planning purposes or for whatever the reason is, and you put your property, change it from your name or whichever name it was in, or your LLC, and you put it into a land trust, then they can call your loan fully due, and all monies that are owed would have to be paid right away. Right? So it is wise to notify the lender, and there are specific reasons why I say this. Can I use a land trust for my primary residence? Absolutely, yes. Land trusts can be used for primary residences, investment properties, or any real estate at all that you own, commercial, any one of them. Is a land trust the same as a living trust or a revocable trust? A living trust, land trust, first of all, is different from a living trust. No land trusts are specific to real estate ownership, okay? So when we talk about land trust, we're talking about real estate ownership. So the land trust can only hold properties that has real estate connected to it. So you cannot hold a valuable jewelry collection that you have that you want to pass on to your beneficiaries. A living trust can do that, right? So a land trust is specific to real property, real physical property, okay? Not any other property. So yes, land trust is definitely different from a living trust or a revocable trust. When you mention a revocable trust, land trust can be that. It could be irrevocable or revocable. Revocable means you can change your beneficiaries on that trust, while irrevocable, how do you say that? I mean, we all say it differently, but irrevocable trust, you're unable to change the beneficiary unless the beneficiary signs off on it for you to change. So it's different, right? So what is the cost of setting up and maintaining a land trust? Costs do vary, but it typically involves legal fees for setup if you're working with an attorney specifically, and any ongoing administrative tools, right? So in our case, in our company, legal fees, we're not charging you for that. If you do require consultation with an attorney, you're obliged to do that. So you can check us out and see what it is that we offer. But we're pretty straightforward. It's not a difficult thing to put your properties into a land trust. And as I said, it is beneficial in so many different ways. I have not even started to uncover those ways. But I appreciate being able to come to you to open your ears for those that have no experience do, never even thought about land trust, for you to now have questions about it. So you can be, benefit from using land trust effectively. And again, thanks for being here, and we'll talk. I have so much more that I would like to share. Have a good evening.